to the Gen X Glam and Gab channel here on YouTube. It is great to see everyone, whether you're new to the channel or you're coming back. Thank you so much for stopping by. I know this is me scrolling. I know there are a lot of choices out there, but you're like, no whammy, no whammy, no whammy, stop. And you stopped here because there are no whammies here. No whammies, no negative vibes, just me in my little corner of YouTube doing a little bit of glam and a little bit of gab. Let's get into it. Let's get into both the glam and the gab. Today's video, before I get into the get ready with me, which is going to be a get ready with me using 11 products that I've identified are not great for my vintage skin, and I'll tell you the reasons why. But I also, before we get into that, I want to highlight the Road to 1K giveaway that I have going on. Please check the video description, this video description for the details. But basically every video is eligible until we get that bingo video between now and July that hits 1K view. And if we can't hit 1K view by July, but come on, we have done it before. It's just been a while, so we need a little bit of a kick. We need some fire in our belly. So this epic giveaway worth over $500, and also in the video description, there will be a link to the sort of unbox reveal as the giveaway stood when I launched it, and it was already over $500. I'm adding a product to it until I give that puppy away. Today, I'm gonna add this LYS Mini highlighter sculpting stick in the shade Brave. That's going in. So there we go. Every video I do, I'm gonna add something and the value is gonna go up. So we need to get to that 1K. We need to get to it or closest to it. And I really don't wanna draw on a video that has like 98 views. I don't wanna draw on a video that's got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 999 views. I want to hit that 1K. You can help me. Be subscribed to the channel, make a comment in any of these videos. They're all eligible until I say we hit it. And yeah, might be your bingo card that's screaming bingo. So we've talked about the giveaway. Let's get into this. What 11 products did I pick out? I've already got my skincare down. We're gonna do it. I gotta roll my sleeves up for this one. This is gonna be a messy one. So let's get into it. I have most of my skincare down. I've got my I'm into the Road. Speaking of the Road Glazing Milk, Road Glazing Mist, and this Road Glazing Fluid. Road, okay, it's just dawning on me. They're just like Charlotte Tilbury. Charlotte Tilbury's magical everything. Road is glazing everything, but I have glazed my face, so I've got a proper amount of skincare down. We're going to go in with my e.l.f. Holy Hydration Moisturizer, and this is by no means a miss for me. I just need it as a base to complete my skincare and highlight 2 products that are a miss for me. The first one is the REM Wicked Glinda Glow Drops. When I first got them, and there's a video on them, and talking about videos that do decently, that's subjective and all relative. But this video, when I bought this, actually did quite well, meaning a couple hundred views. And there's nothing wrong with the formula, okay? It doesn't pill. It smells fresh. It has a scent, but it's not completely offensive, but it's got a little bit too many sparkles. So this is the first point I want to make. With our mature skin, with our vintage skin, we definitely want, or I do, okay, I can't speak for everyone, but I feel like I want a bit of a glow, a bit of a dew. It gives that natural overall finish, which is what I'm always going for. And what I have found with this Wicked Glinda Glow Drops product is that it's given too much shimmer and sparkle. So there's a difference between glow, dewy, and shimmer and sparkle. And I think that shimmer and sparkle may be better left for those folks with less vintage skin than my own. You shake this up really, really good if you buy it. It's not something that went viral. I just saw it. I liked it. It smelled nice. I swatched on my hand. I'm like, oh, it's, I kind of like that glow. And it wasn't really until I, started using it a few times, I'm like, it's given off too much sparkle. But we're going to mix it because it will give us a nice sort of glowy underdew. And this is the point of this video, is to say, hey, on weekends I do reorgs of the Glam Station. I find stuff that I have dupes on that goes in the in the giveaway treasure box. I find stuff that needs to be thrown away. I find stuff that I'm just like, didn't know I had. There's a reason why it got buried. And that's kind of where a lot of these products fall into. So we're going to take some of the Glinda Glow Drops here. Again, that's REM Beauty. It really does have a very pleasant scent to it. We're going to take some of my face cream from e.l.f. Holy Hydration line, which this gives me a lot of when it gives me Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream. I'm not saying it's a dupe. I don't think I've ever heard anyone besides myself say that it's a dupe, but makeup lays really well on top of it. The next product I'm going to take here, a little bit on here, is my Drunk Elephant bronzing drops. These I won in a giveaway myself from Shoppers Drug Mart, so I have not bought them, and actually these are in the giveaway that I'm cooking up because, again, I won them in a giveaway myself from Shoppers Drug Mart. But they've never really hit that well for me. Bronzing drops in general don't really hit that well for me. If I have to say what my favorite one is out on the market, it would probably be, the Glow Recipe Hue Drops, I would say, because they feel more of like serum-esque. I don't feel like I need to really mix them with a moisturizer to get some sort of effect. But we're going to go in with them because now I've got a really goopy mess. I have a napkin standing by, because what I find with these type of products, these bronzy drops on the vintage skin, is it doesn't give me sort of an even type look. And once we start blending on top of this, you're going to find that this base that like looks really pronounced right now kind of is just in the background, not really doing much per se. And what we want another type of product effect we want to avoid with our vintage skin is a product that is patchy and doesn't fade evenly. I have said many times that for me, ideally, my face at the end of the day needs to be a really easy face wash. That means that I selected products throughout the day that truly did fade gracefully off my skin, right? Progressively. And then I just had a really easy wash at the end of the day. And I started off the day with going in with a little bit of smoothness, a little bit of glow, maybe some touch-ups throughout the day. But at the end of the day, I wasn't, I didn't need like a spatula to scrape the stuff off my face that was like cracking and patching everywhere. So there we go. We got into 2 products. We're already 2 products in. That's only 9 to go. What do we want to, let's let that sit a little bit. It gave me, again, I just don't think there's like very little payoff for me with the bronzing drops on my vintage skin. And I'm going to lean in. I've got some glow and it's not really picking up so much on the camera, but I'm kind of sparkly too. And I just, here's my hands. I don't really need, I'm not going for sparkle at my age. All right, let's look at a product that I'm not going to put on, but I just want to say is a miss. This is the CoverGirl Clean Fresh Jammy Sleep Mask. I think if you're out there in the space and you're watching videos when this thing dropped, I think you'll see other people that gave similar reviews. The main flaw with this thing is the packaging. It's one of these deals where you crank it up and it doesn't retract, and you crank it and it's just goozing way too much, right? More than you would ever need to use, and it's very sticky. And I'm constantly like wiping and cleaning this thing. There are better sleep masks out there, and I'm not sure if it was this sleep mask or the next lippy product I'm going to talk about that I'm not going to use, that kind of gave me like a little breakout on my lip this morning when I was testing a few of these products before I took a shower. I can't bash this product enough, and I have. If you're tracking my channel, I get on my high horse about Wonder Skin. There's a lot of things I have to say about it. I never really feel like the color matches the claim. I had XO, 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 or whatever. I don't know how many more XOs I need to add. That was the first one that I purchased, and now it's actually on Sephora for like 20 bucks, but sometimes you can get it on Amazon for under 15. That is by no means me saying $15 is still a lot. Like, save that money, put it, this right here will cost you 10, 12 bucks. Look at all that you get. Anyway, so I'm not going to put this on, but I did put it on this morning before, like I said, before I did my face wash, before I took my shower. And between these two products, one of them gave me an instant blister in the corner of my mouth, and I have massive regret now. But I will swatch it on my hand, and we'll let it sit for a minute. Unlike some other, this is this is the OG sort of lip liner peel. No, I mean, I think they've been out there, but there have been some that have come since that are much more affordable and I think work a little better. Like, I'll say GLAM and Hard Candy for $2 to list. And those you sort of peel off. This one you let sit for a minute, then you moisten whatever you want to moisten. I love these cotton squares from Sephora, so I usually keep these around. Anyway, you moisten and you wipe it off. So we will do that so I can show you the color. And it doesn't come too far off from that, but when the result of it, any crack that you have in your lip, just like a fine line on your face, which again, like these shimmery type products that have too much shimmer and sparkle, they will find every piece of uneven texture you have on your face and they will like camp out. That's another reason why, you know, we should, with our vintage skin, we should stay away from these too glimmery, shimmery, sparkly type products. But so this found every crack on my skin. And again, I'm not sure if it was the lip mask or if it was the Wonder Skin that gave me my little blister down there. So there's that. All right, so this is feeling pretty good. I feel like it's in there. We got a little bit of warmth, right? We got a little bit more glow going on. I got sparkles everywhere though, I'm telling you that. Let's go in now and do a little bit of concealing. This is the next product we're going to look at that's on my top 11 Mays from my current reorg. My current reorg is this e.l.f. Soft Glam Brightening Corrector. This dropped within, I want to say this dropped within the year, right? Comes in lots of shades. It's $4. This is in the shade Light Pink Rose, which I like to, you know, kind of put those shades right in my under eye area, kind of around my T-zone to conceal and to brighten 2-in-1. I do like the shade of it. I'm not disputing the shade at all. That's not why it's a miss. This particular product goes on way too patchy for me, and it's patchy and cracky. So those are another two things that I like to avoid in products. And you don't know until you know, right? You don't know oftentimes until you buy it. That's why I'm a big advocate, like with stuff, especially like Sephora, take that stuff back. You have like 30 days to take it back. You can even, you know, you can return stuff to Amazon as well. I know it just takes a little bit of extra time, but it's just, you know, it's, you think like, would you, if you saw a $10 bill laying on the street, would you just walk by it because, I don't know, your back hurts that day and you don't want to bend over and pick it up? It's all about the effort level and what you're willing to put in to sort of try to get some stuff. Like, okay, so for $4, you could, you know, you could keep this in your inventory, right? Which I have done. I'm not gonna probably bend over and pick up every penny I see, although I do like to, because I'm super superstitious about heads up pennies being lucky. In fact, I'm totally digressing, but on my last trip that I did to Vegas, it was my, like, literally we just wheeled up to the hotel and I stepped out of the vehicle and I looked down on the ground and there was a heads up penny and I was exhausted. International trip, but I bent over and I picked up that penny. And was it lucky? Yes, it was lucky in the sense that I had a wonderful, wonderful visit. I'm still thinking about that and like how happy I am that I got to go. So did I get brighter? Yes, I'm leaning in. You can't see it, but I don't know how well my amateur rig picks up. I think you're just seeing like a lot of shine, but this formula is so patchy. It just settles right in it settles right in underneath my eyes, and it's fine lines, and it's not doing me any service. And what's worse are the other shades that I purchased. Like from this one I bought as a brightener, and it's a little more effective than the other shades that I bought as a true concealer. Speaking of true concealers, going to go in with another product here. This is from Maybelline Lifter. There's also a formula. There's also a foundation with this from this Lifter collection. Not a big fan of the applicator. It's very small, in my opinion, not very bendy, and you can see that the formula just kind of stuck to the tip, which is, I don't know, it's not ideal. I'm just going to go in some of the areas that I normally hit up with my concealer, because like many of you, maybe you just also use your concealer, you know, as your base really, and you blend it into your skincare, because foundations, as our skin ages, and let's wipe this off, tend to be harder to come by, ones that feel skin-like and not cakey and uneven. All right, so here we go. We're wiping it off. There it is. That is not a sunspot, my friends. That is, you know, that's the shade Lovely, and it's not a total mismatch, but I don't know if you can see here. Do you see these like blue flakes? It's pilled. It's the stuff pills. So it's on, and I mean, it just looks so unnatural. It goes against everything. The formula for these peel off lip stains. You get these little blue specks all over your face. I'm going to use the Beauty Blender because this is sort of a higher coverage concealer, the Lifter, but it's another one that's really chalky and it dries down really fast. So products on aging skin that are chalky and pasty and uneven and dry really fast, they do not do us any favors. We want buildable, we want hydrating, right? We want even, we want smooth, lightweight. These are the sort of adjectives we want to use a product and say, wow, that feels really light on my skin, or wow, that just like so soft, it just blended right in. You know, I love it. I know it's there. It's giving me that barely there coverage. So the Lifter foundation for me, it's just, it dries out. I find it dries out very quickly, and it dries and it goes on very patchy. It's not very buildable. So therefore, that's why I put it in the miss category for me. Next product we're going to look at, e.l.f. dropped this now going on a couple years ago, the brow laminating gel. It has a really cool, like, it comes with a really cool comb. You get two sides. The recommendation with this, oh, let's blend out over here because that is going to dry down, and it's just going to, and it's going to be patchy. And the result of a patchy product on your face, let's go back to what I talked about with, you know, at the end of the day, you just want your makeup to fade off, right? Fade off into the sunset. As the sun sets, so does your makeup. You have a really easy face wash at the end of the day. And, you know, when it's already going on dry and patchy, that's just the way it's going to stay, right? And it's very uneven. It's going to give you an uneven sort of vibe. And these products on your skin may react differently. So I'm just sharing what, you know, what I think these products do on my vintage skin that is counterproductive to what I want any product to do on my vintage skin. All right, so let's get back into this. You're supposed to back comb. This is supposed to give you that laminated look. For those of you folks that haven't delved into getting your eyebrows laminated, and I only did, you know, started doing that a couple of years ago. I've always gotten them threaded. Not always. I'd say about 15 years ago. I started getting them threaded when I lived in Brazil. That was where I was introduced to the threading method, and I really liked it. And then I've continued to do it wherever I've lived. But so lamination is supposed to, I don't know, some people describe it as like electrifying brows, because, you know, you get your brows, you comb your brows into sort of, you know, the style that you want them. And then the lamination product, which smells like a home permanent, remember that smell? It keeps them there. So for maybe like 4 to 6 weeks, it depends on what kind of products you wash your face with and how often you wash your face, or if you scrub it off. But it then, when it's like when you wake up, and you comb through your brows, you've already got that like that brow gel stand up shape that, and you don't have to use a brow gel or anything to work too hard at it. So this is what that effect is supposed to give. And the reason why, look at how goopy that is. Goopy is the reason that this thing goes on my May list is because talk about drying down. It dries down very quickly, and then you can't really do much of anything with it. These things are pasted to my head, and I want to have like a very natural finish, right? And the overall look, that's what I go for. I don't look for anything overdone. And brows that are glued to my head just don't fall in my natural finish. There are better brow gel products out there. I wasn't gonna, I wanted to keep the length of the video down, which I don't even know why I try. I don't even know why I try. So I wasn't gonna like counter like versus this versus that in terms of like the May and the Bay. Better Bay. I don't know. I just made that up. But I will say that this L'Oreal 24 brow lamination gel is a really good formula to give you that laminated look. So I would stay away from this e.l.f. product, although I love the dual-ended comb, and that's kind of why I keep it around, because sometimes I just will go in and I will just use that. I'm not even going to do my other brow. I don't really want to. I don't want to get stuck to my skin. All right, let's start warming up the face. This is from Milani, the Cheek Kiss. I use it in the shade 120 Spilling Tea. I was so excited to try this creamy bronzer, and it's an epic fail for me, and it's all about what we've talked about already. I'm just putting some on the back of my hand and diffusing it a little bit. It is instant patchy for me, and it's not in a good way, but I'm putting it in all the places where I would normally go. It's like super chalky, super patchy. Putting in all the places that I would normally warm up my face with some sort of creamy bronzer. So remember, I'm like, I think I said earlier, I'm looking for products after I use it that are like, wow, I can keep building on this. This has really smoothed me out, and not only given me a little bit of a pop of whatever, but it's, I can keep going with this, and it's not. For me, it's a total miss. When I put it on my face, it feels like chalk. Even coming out of the pan, it's very strange in its texture. So there's that. 2 more products to go, my friends. We're going to stick in the bronzer powder line, and I hate to do this, but I think like by me being honest with you guys, I am honest all the time. I am honest all the time, but I want to really be true and tell you, even some of my favorite brands that I talk about all the time are still misses for me, and that is the case with this beautiful one here from Guerlain. This is a bronzer. It's Momo Sun. It was a collab that Guerlain did with Pucci, an Italian fashion house. It's just so chicy. Like, this is the packaging it came in. I got completely sucked in. Beautiful, like, looks fantastic in the pan. Has that Guerlain Luxe smell to it. Really nice mirror, amber type case. Everything about it is fantastic, except for the shade. This is a complete miss for me, not necessarily because of the formula. I love the formula of the Guerlain powdered blushes. It's just too golden for me, and that's not, gold does not work for me. I didn't even really put that much on, and look at that. It's just, the shade doesn't work for me. So maybe, it's not a formula that's patchy, that's cracking on you and not fading off evenly. That puts something, in your opinion, in that thumbs down or May category. It could just be a complete miss on the shade. Could I have taken this back? Did I know right away that it was a miss? I did know right away that it was a miss. If I pull it out of my drawer, it's to smell it and to admire the case. And that's kind of why I didn't take it back. And remember, if you're new to the channel, then you can't remember. I'm going to take a big fluffy brush, okay, and just try to smooth the edges out of that. if you're new to my channel, you can't remember, but this channel started with me wanting to share my midlife makeup crisis with folks, and like tips and tricks that I was learning, and that I learned from, you know, from my small but yet mighty loyal subby base, you know, learning together these tips and tricks that are getting our mature skin, you know, getting us down the road, right? But I've evolved more into sort of like, okay, now I'm a collector, and that evolution kind of hit pretty quick. And by the time I bought this, I definitely was falling into the I've learned a lot category, and now I'm collecting because I'm having fun, and that's why I didn't take this one back. This is a collector's item. Last product, and I saved the worst for last. This is the L'Oreal Infallible 3-second setting spray. 36 hours holds up to this is like putting hairspray on your face in a very, excuse me, I'm coughing and I haven't even, it's close to my nose, and I'm like, I haven't even put it on and it's making me cough. It is so repulsive. This comes in a mini, like if you don't want to believe me and you just want to try it for yourself, because there were a lot of people pushing this online, like the gurus, the influencers that were saying this was like the cat's meow. This is not the cat's meow. I'm telling you, it is repulsive. I'm not even going to spray it in my space. Oh, I didn't quite. One last thing. You guys have not seen this. You have not seen this. I have not showed you this Makeup Forever purchase, probably because when you get ready with me, my time is like, it's not, you know, I'm not as getting ready as much as we did together when I lived in Ottawa. I just don't have as much time here in Stockholm because of the time difference and the commute and all the things. And so normally when I was living in Ottawa, you guys were seeing everything I was getting new real time. I was just filming that much. This I bought quite some time ago. It is a Makeup Forever product. It's a very matte, lippy and cheek product. And again, I have issues with the applicator. It actually looks like the same sort of type of applicator as the applicator we had on the Maybelline lifter. It just kind of is going on the tip. This dries down so fast. And, you know, matte, I am finding products aren't always a friend of my vintage skin. I don't mind the shade, but for them to say this is a lip and cheek, you really have to be careful, because this dries fast and it dries patchy. So I don't mind it as much on my lip, but it just was not a hit for me in terms of being that like multi-purpose product that I do tend to like when I find them, that I can go for my you know, in all the areas of the face, that monochromatic look. I do like to get that, like especially down my T-zone, and this didn't hit for that. And it's Sephora pricing, my friends, and it is one that I actually do wish that I would have sent back, but it's a lot harder overseas. But if I was living in the town where I bought it from, like in Ottawa, where I was just like a 5-minute walk away from my office building to the mall where there was a Sephora, I would have taken this thing back in a heartbeat. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope you're well. I hope your family's well. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave the comments. Remember, we're on the road to the 1K giveaway. I'll see you in the next video.